This is Richard Fowler. I'm John Kilpatrick with Okolona Aikido, Louisville, Kentucky, USA. And last time we showed you how this leading works. And this leading is fabulous. And I'm going to now, I don't want to go into the leading much, we did it last time. We're going to look at Sankyo. And I like Sankyo because it shows some critical things about this. And it's fairly easy to understand what's happening. So, when we do Sankyo, just basic Sankyo, you grab the guy's hand. Now, if his hand's turned like this, I'm grabbing so that my fingers grab the padded part of his little finger. See, it's up here, it's not on the finger. Grab it this, and then you're twisting his hand and coming under the arm. Now, when people usually do this, it's the way we're taught it, the way I was taught it, the way everybody I know of is taught it. It's an act of brutality. You know, you grab his hand here, maybe he's grabbed your arm or something, I don't know, but you've got his hand here, you grabbed his fingers, you're squeezing them together so it really hurts. You grab this wrist and you force this around, and he's the idea is in Aikido your partner goes with you, but it doesn't matter how much he goes with you. No matter how much, you force it more than his arm will go. So you make it hurt like hell, and you come here and you squeeze the hell out of it, and then you grab it down here and force him onto his face, which I don't like. I don't approve of any of that. To me, Aikido should be so light and so soft that your partner never knows you're doing anything. Then you avoid a fight. Richard is so strong. If I come in and it took me years to figure this out. If I come in and try to throw Richard, this hand just doesn't go anywhere. You know, it's like I hit a brick wall. It just doesn't happen. And I figure, you know, if Richard can do it, not to depreciate Richard at all, but there are probably more Richards out there. I probably don't want to fight somebody that's so much stronger than me. I try to twist this and all they do is hit me in the face with the other hand. You know, that's not a good idea. Also, and I'm not going to get into this now because it annoys me so much when people do this, but when I try to do this, it really sets me up for counter techniques. Now, usually in Aikido, the counter techniques are Jiu-Jitsu, not Aikido. But if I come under here and try to twist this and do this stuff to throw Richard, if he uses Aikido, if he's learned Aikido well enough to understand, to have it built into his body, he'll counter me with Aikido, and maybe I'll break his arm if I really do it fast enough. And if I do it fast enough to break his arm, he'll probably kill me. You know, I don't have a chance. So I don't want to really get into that, but I'm just saying those kind of things I think are dangerous. So what we're going to do, the first thing is we want to break his balance, which isn't normally done in Aikido, but that's this lead, that's the Kuzushi. The second thing is we want to be super soft. So as he comes, as he comes here, I'm meeting his hand here. Now see how this was coming forward? I want to keep it coming forward. And I want to be super soft here. I'm just barely touching him. If I grab him, he tenses up. Now I'm in a fight. Now in freestyle or something, it won't work. In kata, of course, everything works because he's not really fighting. But in freestyle, it won't work. So I just barely touch him here. Now I go to lift this. This hand takes my Sankyo grip, but it's very soft. I'm barely touching him. I push this up. As I push it up, it just moves there. If I grab him tightly, he doesn't like it. He immediately, it tells his body to fight me. But if I take it softly, he just comes here. So this has to, now we're doing Kuzushi. That means that we're breaking his structure, we're taking his balance, we're throwing him with that kind of thing. It has to be soft and smooth. you can't stop in the middle of it. So, if I'm going to do this, and he, back up just a little bit so we stay on the camera. So, he's coming here, see? So, that's your, I ended up with a knife, but that's your basic Orimi technique. There are two kinds of techniques. There are techniques that go through him, which is what I just did. So he threw, I'm here, and now when I throw this, I'm twisting him, breaking his structure here, and then I step through him. We don't need to throw it again, but I step through him and throw him. I'm breaking his structure, then I go through him. The second way of doing this is where I go to the other side, and you might be able to mix them up, but this is what just comes naturally. So he attacks. Here's this beautiful lead that's so easy. I come here, and throw in here. And so that's the second way. And the essential things of this is, without throwing again, but he comes with the knife, and I'm here. Now this is a full tenkan. I'm coming here, I'm soft. Now when we practice, of course, this is pretty soft, but you could really hit him here if you really wanted to. And then I'm coming behind him. Now to do the throw, I'm pulling, now I don't want to throw here, but I come around. I'm pulling him through my center. And this gets the throw, and then as he falls, it's easy to peel the knife out of his hand. He's concerned with not dying here as he hits the pavement. So his attention is not on keeping the knife. So that's the second way of doing this. The third way of doing this is back to the first one. And so he attacks. See, I'm leading here. I keep this extended, and I'm taking the knife. Now these knives are not the best thing to practice with this. I used to have another knife that had a plastic handle and a rubber blade, and I've lost it. It's terrible. I've got to replace it. But I can just peel this out of his hand. If I'm very soft, he'll, you know, a knife fighter will say, "You'll never take my knife. You can't take it out of my hand." If I grab his hand and try to get this knife, I'll never get it from a guy who's a trained knife fighter. He's developed his grip and everything to never let that go. But if I'm really soft and don't let him know what's happening, he'll never realize it. And I've done this with guys who don't practice with me regular, but you know, soldiers and stuff that come here from time to time and are really good sea light type guys and all. And I'll have their knife and they'll cut their throat, and they won't even know I had their knife. They'll never notice I took it out of their hand. So this is the third way of doing this. It's not Aikido approved. You're not supposed to hurt your partner in Aikido. And I think sticking a knife up in his head is considered hurting your partner. So these are the things, and the key things is this movement is so beautiful, so wonderful, so easy, so fast. You can do it when the guy's right on top of you. And the other thing is be soft, soft, soft. Don't get in a fight with your partner.